everybody. So glad you joined us today. Let's give Jesus all the praise. Can we do that? All of our locations, man, we are gathered together, one church spread around what we call Journey City, and it's August. I don't know why I'm so excited about that, but I am. I'm just fired up that it's August. Anybody else just fired up? It's just no reason. It's just it's August. And I think I was just looking for a reason to be fired up, and I found one. You know, if you're looking for a reason, you can find one. And a big reason is that we get to be gathered together like this. It is favorite day of the week, great way to start the week to be coming together to experience God. And before we get into a brand new series that I am very, very much looking forward to, I want to celebrate what God did during baptism weekend, last weekend. And for all of you who took that step and went public with your faith in Jesus, I celebrate you. It's amazing. Thank God. And I want to share this with you. I look at this from time to time just to be reminded of the goodness of God. And over the past 10 years, we have seen 2,664 people go public with Jesus across our locations and in our gatherings. And I got to tell you, I don't want that to just kind of go over your head. That's 2,664 lives changed by the grace of God. And I'm thankful for it. And if you're one of those, again, I'm so proud of you. This week, our students are headed to Rise Summer Camp. So, yeah, it's going to be a great, great time. We have a record registration, so be praying for our middle and high school students. Pray for their student leaders who won't go to bed until 3 every night, and just be believing God to do something powerful. And then I want to just let you know that we're just 2 weeks away now from Week of Prayer. If you're new to our community of faith, this is part of our rhythm as a church. And every August, we take a Monday through Friday evening, and that will be August 17th through the 21st. Am I right about that? Am I doing that right? Okay, good. All the maths, thank you. And it's going to happen at all of our locations, and I really want to encourage you to be a part of it. If you've ever found prayer a little intimidating or awkward, you're not alone. And we just have a passion here to help every person, wherever you are in your spiritual journey, experience the presence of God in a real way. And so I want you to come to that. In fact, on your way out, all of our locations, we have these little Pray First wristbands. And you can grab one of those on your way out today just to be reminded, before you do anything else, pray first. Before you send that email, pray first. Before you react to that comment, pray first. Before you reach for that horn, pray first. All right, well, another message for another time. But grab one of those wristbands. And with that all kind of ahead of us this month, let's dive into this new series that we're calling In the Image, that is really all about what it actually means to be human. So, and I'm going to let you know right up front today, you're going to want to come every week during this series, okay? It's 5 weeks, 5 Sundays in August. And the first message today is really going to lay the foundation. It's going to be pretty theological, okay? So my heart is to give you kind of a faith basis for everything that we're going to talk about that'll be a lot more practical throughout the rest of the series. But the reason behind this series is we live in a time when we are rethinking almost everything about what it really means to be human. We're rethinking our identities, how we view and use or misuse our bodies, what connection really looks like. Like, do I even need you? I've got chat. All right, so some nervous laughter in the room. I don't know what that was about. I do need you. I don't know why you were like, yeah, that's right. No, it's not. Okay, so we'll talk about that. But we're really in the midst of this rethinking, and it's happening so rapidly. And the question is, how are we intended? Were we intended, or are we just random accidents? But if we aren't random accidents, how are we intended to see ourselves and each other and to treat ourselves and each other? Where does our sense of right and wrong come from? Because you have one, by the way. We all do. Nobody's neutral. Everybody has a sense of right and wrong. Where does that come from? And what does it mean to believe that we were created in the image of God? Okay, so that's kind of where we're headed throughout this series. And to start us off, I have some things about me that I would change if I could. Sometimes I would like to be a little bit taller. Wish I was a little bit taller. Wish I was a baller. Just saying. All right. My teeth are kind of crowded. I know, it's uncomfortable to talk about it publicly, but they are. I was out to dinner with some coworkers when I was working in the marketplace, And it was kind of, some of them had brought some family members, and one of them, their daughter was like, "What's wrong with your teeth?" In front of everybody. And I was like, "What's wrong with your parents?" I didn't say that. I said that in my mind. I didn't say it out loud. But teeth are kind of crowded. My posture's not great. I got to remember to stand up straight. I'm a little too skinny. It'd be nice if my muscles were bigger. In fact, I usually dress in layers on Sunday. And today I was like, you know what? Just authenticity. Here it is. This is it. This is what it is. Camera adds 10 pounds, which means I weigh 98. Okay, so it would be nice if my muscles were bigger. It'd be nice if I had muscles. That would be like a great start toward them becoming bigger. But there are these things that I wish I could change about myself if I could. And I am betting I am not alone, okay? I bet there are some things that you wish you could change about yourself as well. All of us have things like that. And by the way, I've got some more serious stuff just because I'm kind of enjoying, it's therapeutic to share the list. So I have herniated discs in my back. I get cluster headaches. Look it up. It's the worst. And I get kidney stones. I don't know why. I don't know what I did to deserve that. Had a couple of you, so now it's safe to share this story, but during Christmas at the Journey, I was preaching and passing a kidney stone. I went from preaching to the ER at Christiana, and they were like, "Well, we could do a little procedure, get that thing out of there for you." And I was like, "Well, I'm preaching tomorrow night. Can I still preach?" And they were like, "No." And I was like, "Well, I guess we're not doing the procedure." So I just kept going. And I had a couple of you come to me, a couple of you moms come to me and say, "Hey, I've had kidney stones and I've had babies and I'll take the babies." I was like, "Thanks." And then of course there's ADHD. What were we talking about again? So I have stuff I wish I could change about myself. You probably do too. How you look, your personality, your energy level. Sometimes being human is just confusing, isn't it? And frustrating. And we run into these limitations, and as hard as we try to rise above them, we're reminded that we're imperfect and we're incomplete. So what are we supposed to do with the parts of us that we don't like? Are we supposed to just fix ourselves all the time, or go the other direction, just accept the way we are? This is the way we are. Or is there something else? And who decides how we live our lives? That's an important question, right? Who's going to decide how we live our lives? Is it our culture, the world around us? Is it our own individual feelings and desires? Is it somebody else that we've elevated to that position of control in our lives? Like, who decides? That's all what we're going to explore over the next few weeks. And if you're not sure what you believe about God or the Bible yet, I'm very glad you're here. And you don't have to agree with everything that I'm going to say, all right? In fact, chances are good, some of it you'll be like kicking back in your head. You got lots of yeah, but kinds of questions. And I encourage you to ask them. I do want to let you know right up front, week 1 of the series, what I believe and what our church is part of the foundation of our faith is that God makes this claim about you, that you are not an accident, and that you are more than the sum of your failures and your fears, your features, your accomplishments, your impulses, your pain, and your past. You were actually made in His image. You were made in the image of God. So let's jump in. Here's what we read, first chapter of Genesis, first book of the Bible. Then God said, "Let us make human beings in our image." So we were His idea. And He said, "I'm going to make human beings in our image to be like us. They will reign over the fish in the sea, the birds in the sky, the livestock, all the wild animals on the earth, and the small animals that scurry along the ground." So stop freaking out when you see a mouse. You're in charge. All right. So God created human beings in His own image. By the way, we have one of our locations that at one point it had like a bat situation. And I was like, "Send me in. I will take care of that for you." I don't know why, but it's because Genesis 1:26, I reign. Okay. Everybody all right? Good, okay. So God created human beings in His own image. In the image of God, He created them, male and female, He created them. So we're gonna do some crowd participation, all right? I want you to take out your phone. I know this is risky, especially if you're easily distracted, because your sister texted and was like, "Are we going to lunch or what?" And you gotta ignore that, okay? So take out your phone. I want you to open your camera, all right? Everybody open your camera app. And I want you to hit the little arrow at the bottom. that reverses it so you are looking at you, okay? Everybody look at you. Look right at yourself, okay? Look at you. And before you adjust your hair, before you critique your smile or count your chins, before you worry about your wrinkles, you are looking at a reflection of the image of God. I want you to think about that. You look like God. Now, it's an imperfect reflection. We'll talk about that, but it is a reflection nonetheless. Now, put your phone away, all right? Text your sister later. Put that away and look around the room at your location. If you're online, hopefully somebody's with you. Just look over at them, and you are looking at the image of God. The image of God. This is the reason every human being has inherent dignity and worth. You do not get dignity and worth out of atheistic evolution. That is survival of the fittest. It means you have dignity and worth if you are stronger than me. And I have less than you because you're stronger than me. But if we are all made in the image of God, then everybody in the room, all of our locations, everybody in every space throughout Journey City, everybody around the world, made in the image of God, then we have inherent dignity and worth. We bear God's image. And let me go a step further. All of us bear God's image. Believers and unbelievers. Saints and sinners. You with me? Democrats and Republicans. I know I lost half of you right there. You're like, nope. Ain't no way they bear God's image. I apologize for all of you, to all of you who are uptight. Okay, so we are image bearers. So if that's true, it begs the question, right? What went wrong? If we were made in the image of a perfect, flawless, all-powerful, all-knowing, all-wise God, then if we were made to be like him, why are we so often totally unlike him? What went wrong? Well, between that first moment of perfect human existence and now, the image of God has been tarnished. Not completely erased, but it's been distorted by something called sin. It's like, I don't like that word. Just think of what you don't like about other people. And you can think of that as sin, okay? But sin is this disease. It's a disease that has disfigured our hearts and our minds and our bodies. It's a spiritual disease that causes us to think thoughts that don't come from God, to say words that don't sound like God, and to do things that don't look like God. Well, what is this sin thing? It's the thing that ruins our relationships, pollutes our perspectives, and confuses our sense of identity. It's what separates us from God, and it's what gets us at each other's throats. It's sin. Makes us almost unrecognizable as bearers of the image of God. Almost unrecognizable. It's this disease that has genetically, on a spiritual level, changed us. It's a mutation of our original identity. So to recover what it really means to be human, what it originally meant and what it can mean again, which that's the hope, we'll need more than self-improvement. I'm a big self-improvement person. I'm always like, I am all about self-improvement. But it's gonna take more than that. It's gonna take more than those YouTube videos and those TikTok hacks. I walk around our house on a regular basis now, and I'm like, what is that? I saw it on TikTok. It's like all these little hacks, and I'm like, okay, I'm all about it, but we're gonna need more than that. We're gonna need more than self-improvement. You can't improve yourself enough to get back to where you came from. the image of God. We're gonna need more than self-acceptance, which is, some of our plan is just like, well, I just accept myself. I'm just like, accept myself. And that's good. I mean, it's better than rejecting yourself, but it's not enough on its own. It will end up empty because it just can't get us back to where we need to be. We may mask the symptoms, we cannot cure the disease. So we're taking all these pills, right? And we're like, oh, that feels better. Making more money, I'm doing more things. I figured out how to go about that, or met this milestone, took a pill, feel better, but we still have the disease. We need someone to forgive us and restore us and to show us the way back to who we were originally intended to be. And that brings us to Jesus. Here's what we read in the New Testament about him. Without question, this is the great mystery of our faith. Christ was revealed in a human body. Vindicated by the Spirit, he was seen by angels and announced to the nations. He was believed in throughout the world and taken to heaven in glory. Now, there's a lot in those words that needs to be unpacked, but I want you just to notice the first part. This is the great mystery of our faith. Christ was revealed in a human body. That is so important. It is so important to believe that when Jesus Christ came, he was God made flesh, God in the flesh. He was not just some apparition floating around, and he was not just some, really stellar human being. He was God in flesh. He was the image of God, untarnished, first one ever, first human ever to be untarnished, unpolluted, not sick with the disease of sin that all of us are sick with. And he came to heal us of that disease. He came on a grace mission. He did not come, he said it this way, Son of Man did not come into the world to judge the world, but that the world might have life through him. I have the cure, is what he was saying. And for all who look to me, I can heal them of this disease that's disfiguring their lives and destroying their souls. And he also came to show us what it means to be human, what it's supposed to look like to be a whole and healthy human being. God became like us so we could become like him. Creator of the universe came here. Christ revealed in a human body. Was Jesus tall? Was he short? Did he have crowded teeth? Herniated discs? A big nose? Could he run fast? Was he skinny or stacked? Or maybe like a little on the hefty side? Did he have a dad bod? You say, that's so sacrilegious. No, it's not. Great is the mystery of our faith. That Christ, the Son of God, was revealed in an ordinary, got tired, had to sleep, an ordinary human body, just like all the ones in this room. That's the mystery of our faith. And he came, it does not matter what he looked like. He came, this is what matters, to die for our sins, to give us a blood transfusion so we could recover from our disease. He did not come offering another pill. This will mask your symptoms. This party will make you feel better for 7 hours. This relationship will make you feel better for 23 years until you realize you put all your hopes in it and it left you empty. He didn't come to do that. He came to actually heal us of the disease of sin and to show us what God is like so that we can recover what we were intended to be like. John, one of Jesus' closest followers and friends, says it this way, but to all who believed him, speaking of Jesus, and accepted him, he gave the right to become children of God. This is important, okay? Stay with me on this. Every person is made in the image of God. Every person from the right angle looks a little like God. I'm not talking physical angle, I'm talking spiritual angle. You don't have to believe in God to be generous sometimes. You don't have to believe in God to be kind sometimes. You don't have to believe in God to forgive sometimes. Every person has this image of God in them. Not only that, but every human being has inherent dignity and worth, separate from our beliefs and behaviors, from the color of our skin, our gender, our intellectual abilities. Every human being created in the image of God has inherent dignity and worth. but not every human being is living the life they were intended to live. It's those who believe and accept Jesus who become children of God, who don't just take a pill to mask the symptoms, but recover from the disease of sin and begin to live in a new way. That's the promise Jesus made. For all of you who think, man, Jesus was such a wise teacher. No, that's not who he was. I mean, he was a wise teacher, but that doesn't even begin to scratch the surface. For all of you who are like, Jesus was like the best among us, it's true, that doesn't even begin to scratch the surface. Jesus is the cure. And the promise he makes is, you believe me, you accept me, and I'll give you the right to bear the image well. To be a child of God. So everyone looks at you, man, you look like your dad. Man, you forgive like your dad. Man, you care about what your father looks like, or father cares about. You're really passionate about what your father's passionate about. I can see it. You bear his image. Now, all of us are trying to recover our divine spark, right? There's something, can we all agree, there's something different about us humans. Like your Labrador retriever is not like, so much existential angst about what's becoming of my life. They are like, pet me, walk me, feed me. Life is good. There's something different about us. We're all trying to recover our divine spark. We are hoping to find, again, all those hacks to a successful life on YouTube or TikTok or wherever, we are hoping if we can work hard enough or act morally enough or make or invest enough money by age 30 or learn how to maximize our midlife or put enough effort into our mindset or our fitness or our career, then we can feel like, okay, my life has significance and it matters to be me. It matters to be the human that I am. And if we were not created by God, then that makes sense. I'm going to make a very direct statement. Again, you might not buy it. But this is, I am at the end of the day a very kind of practical person. If you weren't made by God, then yeah, what you're able to accumulate, produce, or contribute defines your value. But if you were made by God, you have value beyond all of that. This is the difference. It really is two very different ways of seeing what it means to be human. Because God says, no, it is not the ones who work the hardest or produce the most or are the most impressive who are the sons and daughters. It's those who believe and accept Jesus. It's those who believe that Christ's death makes them right with God and accept that Christ's way is the only way to live. Those who stop trying to call their own shots and trust in Jesus to heal and restore and guide them. In fact, here's what John says about it. He says, they are reborn. Not with physical birth resulting from human passion or plan, but with a birth that comes from God. Reborn spiritually in the original image. This is why Jesus came. God saw all of us struggling to make something of ourselves because we did not realize that we had already been made something by the one who created us, that we have inherent dignity and value. And it boggles my mind that we would fight so hard for human rights in our world when we think all humans are, at the end of the day, is a random collision of cells. Where do human rights come from? Our Creator. That's why we have inherent value and worth. And this is why so many of us, no matter how hard we work in this life, there's something missing. What's missing is the trust and the security to know if I lost everything around me today, I would be okay. Because I am a child of God. And he doesn't disown his children. I was made in his image. We are reborn spiritually. It's why Jesus came. God saw us all struggling to make something of ourselves. And he knew that we had all lost sight of who we were meant to be because the disease of sin blinded us to our intended identity, and we couldn't and can't get back to it by trying harder or doing better. And so Jesus came to forgive us and to give us a chance to start over and to show us a new way to live. God became like us so we could become like him. Jesus came to show us what God's really like and what we were really intended to be like. He came to show us what being a human being meant before sin messed it all up. And when you believe and accept Jesus, he gives you the right to recover the image of God in your life. You begin this spiritual journey that, as you faithfully lean into it by God's power, teaches you how to no longer be ruled by your impulses and insecurities. Teaches you how to stop endlessly trying to prove yourself or accept yourself by yourself, and to find who you are in whose you are. As you follow Jesus, he teaches you how to live in love, joy, and peace, regardless of the conditions or opinions or pressures of the world around you. God became like you so you could become like God. So what are you supposed to do with the parts of you that you don't like and the parts that you do? Ready? Surrender them to Christ. Surrender your whole life to Christ. Like everything. Every priority, every decision, every relationship, and let God form you in his image. You say, if I surrendered my life to Christ, does that mean now I'm gonna sit passively by, just hoping good things happen in my life? Like I'm just gonna hope for the best? No. Do I look passive? I am surrendered to Christ, which gives me the energy and the joy and the passion to pursue the good things that God has said he has for me. But I'm not trying to prove myself. I'm just trying to display the self that God called me to be for his glory, not mine. And here's why it matters, because tomorrow morning you're gonna wake up and decide how to live. And there are really two main options. Ready? Number one, you are just a random accident. You're a collision of cells. So what you do with your life and your body doesn't matter beyond making the most of it while you can, because you didn't come from anywhere and you're not going anywhere. That's one option. Or number two, you were made in the image of God, and sin stole your original identity, but Jesus paid to return it to you. And now the person you're becoming flows out of what Jesus did for you and who he is to you, because you believe him and you accept him and you have been reborn. So when it comes to how you feel about yourself when you look in the mirror, and how you carry yourself at work or in a few weeks at school, how you treat your spouse, your roommate, your neighbors, how you face your anxieties and fears, your frustrations and temptations, your moments of weariness and pain, when it comes to what you do with your body, and your time and your energy and whom you do it with, when it comes to who or what has authority over your thoughts and your words and your steps. Here's the question ultimately, who are you looking to? And may I recommend Jesus. Now you can get it wrong a bunch of times, just so you know. If you're like, oh, so I just put my faith in Jesus and then voila, I am like perfect. Yes, it will just take your whole life. But there's such a difference between striving out of nothingness and growing out of faith in the God who created you. More to come on that during the series, but for today, as we get ready to wrap up, I hope you'll come back, because I really believe the next few weeks could be defining for you. But for today, in 2 weeks, we're gonna experience God together during Week of Prayer, okay? But you don't have to wait. Here's a great way to start. Beginning tomorrow, start your day with a slot and spot, a time on your calendar and a place you go to read the Bible and pray. And here's why that matters. That is not about checking a box. It's not gonna save you, okay? But it is a powerful way to frame your life. around who Jesus says you are and can become. And by the way, if you are not sure where to start, on those Pray First wristbands, there's a little QR code, all right? Scan it with your camera, like take a selfie at the right angle and then scan. I saw some of you earlier, you were like, you had duck lips. I don't know what was happening. Anyway, there's a little QR code that you can scan on that wristband. It'll take you to some prayer resources. If you're not sure where to start reading the Bible, start with John. If you're not sure what to pray, try this. God, you made me, and I want to know you. Show me more of what you're really like. Show me where my life has been distorted by sin and how you want to heal me. Help me look to your son, Jesus, for help and hope today. Simple. Maybe it's 10 minutes before the rest of your house wakes up, or maybe it's during your lunch break or in your car before you walk into work, whatever it may be. But this is how you daily make space to get to know Jesus better. You can't imitate someone you don't know well. And you know what God's working to do in your life? Make you more like Jesus. Well, for that to happen, you got to get to know Jesus better. And this is part of how you do it. What are the things about you that you wish you could change on the inside? And how much longer are you going to spend trying to do that yourself? Slot and Spot is a daily way of surrendering to God and making space for him to form you in the image. And if you would say today, week 1 of the series, man, something resonates with me today. Like I'm maybe nervous, but excited about living a new kind of way with a new awareness of who I am and whose I am. Would you shoot your hand up all over the room? Every location is hold up high. I want to pray it over you very briefly, but I want you to receive this today. Father, creator, maker of the universe, how astounding to know that you created me. Come on, tell him that. You made me. I don't always like me. I don't always do my best. I don't always get it right. But when you look at me, you see the perfection of your son, Jesus. Come on, if you're a follower of Jesus, I want you to declare this, profess it right now. I am no longer sick with the disease of sin. I've been reborn, and I have the right to become and to live like a child of God. And while you let God speak to you for a moment more, to all who believe and accept him, here's what Jesus said. He would give you the right to become a child of God. Believing and accepting Jesus is not just about adding him to a long list of other priorities in your life. It is about believing that he alone could pay the price for your sins and accepting him as the primary and many times the sole authority when it comes to defining your identity and who you are. Just letting go of your life and surrendering to him and placing all your confidence in him. And if you want to do that today, I'd love to lead you in a simple prayer. So I want everyone to join me again. Just open your heart up to God. And if that's you, all of our locations, you'd say, today's the day. I'm surrendering my life to Christ for the first time for real. Here I am. Whisper out a prayer like this. Jesus, here's my life. I believe in you. You're the cure for the disease in my soul, the one who forgives my sins. And I'm surrendering my life to you. Save me today. I'm yours. And if that's you, while everyone around you stays focused on God, if you'd say, I want to be included in that prayer, would you lift your hands, hold it up high, all over the room, every location, putting my faith in Jesus today. Yeah, it's amazing. Online, you can type the word faith in the comments. Make sure you share that with us on a Connect card before you leave. And Journey, would you help me? Would you give Jesus all the praise? Would you thank God for his word today? Can we do that?